Hello, my name is Keziah, and today I'm going to show you how to make all the different graphics we use during productions. The graphics we normally use are name keys and credits, but I will also show you how to make a countdown clock and how to import media into Xpression. Let's start with the keys that we use during productions. There are 4 different styles of keys that we use during productions. The first 2 I will be making are name keys and lower thirds. The third key I will be making is an e-news key, and the fourth key is a game on key. The first thing you need to do to make any key is make a quad. To make a quad, go to the object library at the right side of your screen and click quad. The quad will pop up in the middle of your scene. Next, we need to choose a material for a quad. To make a new material, click on the quad and go to the Material tab at the bottom of the screen. From there, right-click, select New, and select Material. This will take you to Materials where you can choose the color you want your quad to be. Once you have chosen your color, select Done, click on your quad again, and double-click on the material. Now the quad will have color and we can move on to sizing. To change the size of the quad, click on the Quad tab and adjust the width and height. In order to move your quad to the bottom of the screen, click on the first 3 colored arrows at the top of the screen under the Animation tab. Those arrows should appear by your text, and you can use them to move the quad to the bottom left of the scene. Now that our quad is completed, we can add in our text. Just like when we made our quad, go to the Object Library, but this time click Text. Your cursor will show up in a little box and you can type from there. To adjust the size of the text, go to the Scene Fonts tab and you can change the size of the text and the font. To move your text, use the same 3 colored arrows and you can place your text on top of your quad. This is now a key or a name key. To make a lower third, you can adjust the width of the quad so it's longer and change your text as needed. Now we have a lower third. To make the keys for Student e-News, you're going to make 2 quads. The first quad will be around the same width as a normal name key, but it will be a little bit taller. And the second quad will be a normal lower third. We're going to make both of our keys and position them before we add in the text. This will be our top key. And this will be our lower third. The first quad that we have is for things like club names or titles, and the lower third is for things like emails or links. This will be our title. And this will be our lower third. Now our eNews keys are completed. The final keys we will be making are Game On keys. For Game On, we have 2 name keys for both of our players. To make these, we will do 2 normal name keys, but choose 2 different materials for them and add in the text. For this first quad, I'm going to use the normal blue. And I'm going to make a new material for this second quad. Now we can add in our text. Now that everything is ready, we're going to position both of our keys at the top of the screen. For Game On, we always show the players' live reactions. So instead of positioning these keys at the very top of the screen, we place them around the top of the screen so that we can show their faces above their graphics. Now that we have made all of our keys, let's learn how to make credits. Credits are one of the most important things that we need to make during a production. All that we need to do to make credits is add text and use keyframes to make the credits roll. We include all the positions we use during productions in our credits, excluding hosts and guests. To start credits, go to the Object Library and click on Text. From here, you can add in all the positions we normally use during a production. Now that all of the positions are typed, we can adjust the size and the font if needed. So I'm going to make this bigger. Now that everything is ready, we can move our text. First, move the credits to the center of the screen. Once your credits are centered, go to the Transform tab, double-click on the y-axis, and use your mouse to scroll down. You should scroll until all of your text and the red line is hidden. From here, go to the keyframe timeline at the bottom of your screen. The blue slider will be at 0 on the timeline, so all you have to do is right-click, select Key, and select Set and Close. Now move your slider to the end of the timeline. In this case, the end of the timeline is 100. Go to the Transform tab again and adjust your y-axis so the text and the red outline are hidden at the top of the screen. Now you can right-click on your slider, select Set Key, and select Set and Close. Now go to the play button at the beginning of the timeline and watch your credits roll. If your credits are going too fast, you can adjust the length of the timeline by going to the right side of the timeline and adjusting it to a longer length. However, if you do this after making credits, you will have to right-click on either the starting point or end point of the credits and select Delete All Keys. From here, you can adjust the length of your timeline. In this case, we're going to adjust it to 400, and you can remake your keys. I'm going to send these to the bottom of the screen again. Right-click on the slider, Set Key, and Set Close. Go to the end of the timeline again. Hide your text at the top of the screen. Select Set Key and select Set and Close. Now you can watch your credits roll. This time it's a much better pace and probably what you would want for an actual production. Now that we have made credits, we're going to make a countdown clock. So far, the only thing we have used a countdown clock for is 60-second showdown, where we needed a 60-second countdown. To make a countdown clock, go to the Display tab at the top of the screen and select Widgets. A widget column will appear next to the Object Library. From here, click New Widget, right-click the clock timer, and select Properties. A window with the widget properties will appear in the middle of the scene, and you can adjust the properties from there. The first thing you want to do is go to Mode and change Real-Time Clock into a timer. To make the count go down, go to Direction and select Down. Then you can choose where you want the clock to start at and adjust the format. For example, I'm going to start the clock at 59 seconds and adjust the format so that the milliseconds are not included with this countdown. Now I'm going to add text into my scene. Because we are using the text for a countdown clock, adjust the size of the text so that it fills most of the screen. Then you can move your text to the center of the screen. Now that the text is centered, go to the Data Source tab and select Widget. Then select your clock timer. I'm going to adjust my text, recenter it, and our clock timer will be ready. Now that the text is centered, go to the Widget column and select Start. This will start your countdown, and when you need it again, you can select Reset. This is the format that we use for 60-second showdown, and now our countdown is complete. Now that we have made a countdown, let's learn how to import media into Xpression. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to import videos into Xpression. Xpression doesn't accept most of the common video formats, so you can't just import an MP4 in. The first thing you need to do is put whatever media you want to import on a flash drive and plug that into the Xpression computer. The next thing you want to do is close out of Xpression and open Xpression Video Coder. Once Video Coder is open, click on the New Job option in the Job List tab that is at the bottom of the screen. From here, you can find your media and import it into Video Coder. The media will appear in the Job List tab, and you can select to render queue. Once it's in the render queue, you can start the rendering process and wait till it's finished. Now that the media is converted, you can go back into Xpression. Now that we're back in Xpression, go to the Object Library and select Background. Now you can go to the Materials tab, but instead of selecting New Material, select New Video. Now you can find your file. From here, right-click on your scene and select To Sequencer. Now you can double-click on your video and it will play on Program. Xpression is an important part of our productions, and now you know how to make all the different graphics we use. Xpression is a lot of fun, and I would encourage any student to learn how to make our graphics. This was an Xpression tutorial brought to you by a student of the Broadcasting and Video Productions program.